Welcome to Fatter Wallets Book Summaries. You know, it's kind of wild to think that some of the absolute best financial advice you'll ever get comes from a book that's nearly 100 years old, and it's set in ancient Babylon, of all places. George S. Clason's The Richest Man in Babylon isn't just a bunch of old stories. It's a simple, powerful, and totally timeless blueprint for building wealth. So let's dive in and see why these lessons are just as crucial today as they were thousands of years ago.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with a problem that I think we can all relate to, an empty purse. And then we'll walk through the 7 simple cures designed to fix it for good. We'll cover everything from fattening your purse, to budgeting and investing, to protecting your assets and owning your home. And finally, we'll get into planning for the future and growing your skills, all of which leads us to the timeless laws of gold.
All right, let's go back in time. Our journey begins in Babylon, the wealthiest city in the ancient world. But here's the thing, not everyone living there is wealthy. I want you to meet Bonseer. He is, without a doubt, the best chariot builder in the entire city. He's a master craftsman, he works super long hours, and he is flat broke. He's just sitting there totally discouraged with nothing in his wallet. Sound familiar?
Man, you can just feel the frustration in that question, can't you? Bonseer is really speaking for anyone who's ever worked their tail off, earned a pretty good living, but at the end of the day has absolutely nothing to show for it. He's surrounded by all this incredible wealth, but it just feels completely out of reach, like it's a game he doesn't know the rules to.
And this is the question that changes everything. It's a total light bulb moment for Bonseer and his buddy, Kobe the musician. They suddenly realize, hey, wait a minute, we're masters of what we do because we actually studied and practiced our crafts. But we have never, not once, tried to learn the craft of building wealth. So they decide to do something that honestly most of us never do. They go ask for help from their old friend Arcad, who just so happens to be the richest man in all of Babylon.
So they go to Arcad, and he agrees to teach them. He starts with the very first cure for a lean purse. And let me tell you, this one is the most important. This is the bedrock, the foundation, the one thing you absolutely have to get right before anything else even matters.
And the secret is, well, it's shockingly simple. It's not some complicated formula or a risky get-rich-quick scheme. It's just a fraction. 1/10. That's it. Arcad tells them that for every 10 coins they put into their purse, they are only allowed to take out 9 to spend.
Now, I want you to really think about that for a second. You pay your landlord, you pay the grocery store, you pay for your phone, you pay literally everyone else before you pay yourself. Arcad's first law completely flips that on its head. He says before a single coin goes anywhere else, you have to pay yourself first. The key is to save at least 1/10 of everything you bring in. That piece, and that piece alone, is what's truly yours to keep. That's the seed that your entire fortune is going to grow from.
Okay, so you're doing it. You're saving that 1/10, your purse or maybe your bank account is starting to feel a little bit heavier. That is fantastic. But what's next? You can't just stop there. So let's move on to the next 2 cures, which are all about how to protect that 1/10 and then put it to work for you.
I want you to think of this as a powerful 1-2 punch for your finances. First, you got to build a defensive wall around the money you've saved. That's cure number 2, controlling your spending. Then, once that money is secure, you send it out on offense to make you even more money. And that's cure number 3, making your gold multiply.
This is such a timeless truth. Today, we have a fancy name for it, lifestyle inflation. You know, the more you make, the more you spend. Arcad's point is that we're constantly confusing the things we want with the things we actually need. A budget isn't about punishing yourself, it's about protecting your savings from all those little impulse buys. It helps you plug the leaks in your financial boat so that 10th you worked so hard to save actually stays saved.
Money that's just sitting in a checking account, well, it's lazy. It's not doing anything for you. The whole point of the third cure is to wake that money up. You need to turn every single coin you save into what Arcad calls a golden slave that works for you, earning you more coins. And then, before you know it, those new coins start working too, and pretty soon you've got this whole army of money making you wealthier, day and night.
All right, you've saved your money and you're starting to invest it. Now the stakes are getting higher. You actually have a treasure to protect, and you need to start building a really solid foundation for your life. Cures 4 and 5 are all about security and stability. The 4th cure is simple. Guard your treasure from loss. Now, Arcad learned this one the hard way. He gave his entire first year of savings to a brickmaker who promised to travel and buy rare jewels. Well, the guy got totally scammed and came back with a bag of worthless glass. The lesson is timeless. Don't get your investment advice from a brickmaker. It all boils down to protecting your principal above all else. Seek out people who are experts with money, and always choose a safe, steady return over a risky gamble.
So the fifth cure is to make your home a profitable investment. Arcad makes the case that owning your own home actually reduces your cost of living over time, right? Because eventually you pay it off, instead of paying rent forever. But it's more than that. It gives you this sense of stability and pride that actually fuels you in everything else you do. It gives you a real stake in your community and a foundation to build your life on.
Okay, we are rounding the corner now with the final 2 cures, and these are all about looking ahead. It's not just about getting wealthy right now, it's about staying wealthy and continuing to grow for your entire life.
Cure 6 is all about ensuring a future income. Life has a funny way of moving forward whether we're ready or not. You have to plan for a time when you might not be able to work anymore. This means making smart, long-term investments, planning for retirement, and making sure your family is taken care of if you're not around. An empty purse in your old age, Arcad warrants, is a truly sad thing.
And finally, the 7th cure, increase your ability to earn. This is all about investing in the most important asset you have, yourself. Arcad says that just vaguely wishing you were rich is totally useless. You need a strong, definite desire, like, I want to have 5 pieces of gold. Once you figure out how to do that, you can figure out how to get 10, then 100. And you get there by mastering your craft, always learning and becoming more skilled so that your value and your income just keeps going up.
So there you have it, the 7 cures, straight from the cradle of finance. They aren't super complex or anything, but their real power comes from applying them consistently, day in and day out. This is the exact blueprint that helped make ancient Babylon the richest city on earth.
Let's run through them one more time really quick. First, pay yourself at least a tenth of everything you earn. Second, budget your expenses so you can protect that tenth. Third, invest your savings so it can grow. Fourth, guard your principal from loss by only taking advice from experts. Fifth, own your own home. Sixth, plan for the future. And seventh, always work to increase your ability to earn more.
You know, when you boil it all down, the book's main message is this. Building wealth is not about luck. It's not about fate. It's about understanding a simple but very powerful system. These principles worked thousands of years ago in Babylon, and they work just as well today, no matter where you are in the world. They're not suggestions, they're like financial gravity.
So, the only question left is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Remember, the very first copper you save is the seed for your own tree of wealth. What's the one action you're going to take today to plant yours? Fatter Wallets.